The king has no clothes. Once upon a time, there was a king who loved to dress up. He had a golden crown with many jewels, a glittering cloak, and many colorful and gorgeous costumes made of the very best materials. The king was very vain, and happily received praise from everyone whenever he showed off a new piece of clothing or outfit. He spent all the money on fashion, and didn't care about the state of the country or the people. The country and all its people were becoming poorer and poorer, and everyone was in trouble. One day, a group of tailors came to visit the king. Nobody knew much about them or where they came from, but these tailors were special, as they could easily see the weakness of a person's mind. They said, "My king, we are the master weavers of mysterious fabrics that are the rarest in the world. We have an amazingly beautiful fabric, but only honest people can see it. We can tailor a set of clothes for you. We can make wonderful clothes with this miracle fabric." The king was overjoyed. "Amazing! A wonderfully beautiful clothes that only honest people can see. Please make it right away." The tailors worked many days, every day from morning till late at the night. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, the sound of weaving echoed from the room prepared by the king. The king asked his servant, "Minister, please go and see how much of the fabric has been made already." The minister, who was a trustworthy and reliable man, went to check on the weaving. But what a surprise! The minister's eyes couldn't see the fabrics that the tailors had weaved. "Is there something wrong, minister? Can't you see this fabric?" The minister panicked, but didn't want to say that he couldn't see it. So he pretended to see it and said, "It's such a beautiful fabric." He went back to the king and reported on the beautiful fabric and the great progress, but his heart began to ache. The king was very pleased and couldn't wait to wear the new clothes as soon as possible. Next, the king decided to ask another earnest and reputable official to visit the tailors and report on the progress. The king told the official, "It's about time to finish the tailoring. Go and see." The official went to the tailor's room, but what a surprise! This second earnest and reputable official couldn't see the clothes made by the tailors either. He too decided that he couldn't tell the king the truth, so he reported to the king that the clothes will look wonderful. His heart ached as he gave his report. The king couldn't wait any longer, so he called a handmaiden and said, "Ask the tailor how much longer it will take." The handmaiden went to the tailor's room, but there was nothing there. "The clothes will be finished soon," the gently smiling tailor responded. She couldn't help but smile in response. "King, it's almost done," the handmaiden reported with a painful heart. The long-awaited day of completion finally came. The tailor very carefully and respectfully brought the clothes to the king. "My king, this it is. Here are your wonderful clothes." "Yes?" the king asked, but he couldn't see any clothes. He couldn't see nothing, even after rubbing his eyes. "What's the matter, my king?" "Don't tell us you can't see them," responded the tailor. The king couldn't say that he is the only one who couldn't see, even though everyone in the palace was praising the clothes. In reality, when putting on the clothes and looking in the mirror, all that he could see was his naked self. The king thought to himself, "I wonder, I am an honest man?" But everyone around the king was flattering him, telling him how wonderful he looked. He was beginning to believe what they told him more and more, In the end, the king decided to brush off any inhibitions, to stand up straight, to proudly show off his chest, and set off for his unveiling parade. People from all over the country gathered at the parade to get a glimpse of the extremely rare clothes that only honest people can see, but no one could see them. Whilst no one dare say that they cannot see any clothes, a child came running up to the king and asked, "Why does the king have no clothes?" A buzz started among the people who started to openly say that the king had no clothes. Or the people started to talk and say that he is naked after all. Yes, the king is naked, they said. He is the king with no clothes. The king turned red in shame, but he couldn't stop in the middle of the parade. So the parade continued with the king pretending not to notice, but clearly showing a face getting redder and redder. The king slowly began to feel that his appearance was funny. Finally, he blew out a and laughed. Wah-ha-ha, wah-ha-ha. The king laughed out aloud. The king laughed so hard that the ministers and officials who had fighting to hold back their smiles and the laughter started to laugh too. Ah-ha-ha-ha-ha. The maiden shyly laughed too, and all the people who came to see the parade laughed so much. Everyone in the country joined together in the laughter. When the king returned to the palace, he gathered all the people who worked there. He said, "I, the king, should have been the most honest, but from now on, let's be honest together." Then the king stopped dressing up and showing off. The people who worked in the castle came to give honest advice to the king, and the king announced all over the country, "Let's live honestly together." After the naked king's parade, the country became a country where honest people lived, and it prospered more and more. When the tailors had seen that the country had now become a land of honest people, they decided to leave and work on leaders of the next country. The end.